Hello, everyone. I think I have finally made a decision to be defiant. And this is because I have realized that for the most part, sisi hujificha and we are afraid of what will people say and being controversial and the cost of people knowing exactly what you think. But I've realized that we can no longer continue hiding ourselves, especially after we witnessed what happened to Charlie Kirk. I don't know so much about him and I don't want to talk about him, so I'm not going to talk about him. I'm just going to dive deep on today's discussion. Today I have a friend here. He's called Chrispal Mutuku. He's a colleague and a friend, and I love the way he thinks. So we are here to engage ourselves in some crazy discussions. They're not that crazy anyway, but some discussion. Welcome back to the episode. I'm your host, as always, Irene Wamboi. Sasa Chrispal.
Wasana, Irene.
Karibu. You can tell us who you are, maybe something about you that we need to know before we start the conversation.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you for having me.
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And my name is Chrispal. And something about me, she said she likes the way I think. So I'd like to say I'm open-minded. I think that's one. Like I take in different opinions and like I don't judge. I'm open-minded, even with my reasoning. And I can say I love this little life.
You love
Lord
this
has
life.
Given me. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting. So, for the past years that I have known you, I know we have had very different conversation, especially at the office.
Yeah.
We got to discuss things about gender roles. We're discussing about men and women and everything in between. And then you have been having these ideas that what you're going to find very crazy, I know. And now I have decided, okay, it's not like deciding, but I just really want us to engage ourselves in that conversation, especially tukiangalia where we are as Africans and what we can actually take out of this conversation, gender roles.
Okay.
So, niambia, what do you think? Do you think like as Africans, are we a patriarchy or a matriarchy?
I would definitely say we are way more patriarchal than matriarchal. We lean more towards like a patriarchal sort of society. Although there are some aspects in like the continent where like women take lead in various things. But like generally, I'd say Africa is pretty patriarchal.
Really? Yeah. I don't know. Sijui ni kufanya to revamp the source ama what happened.
Yeah.
For me, sijui mbona naonanga like we are more matriarchal, but I don't know. Yeah, that is how I see myself.
Okay, well, it depends. A lot of the important things, important decisions that were made, especially in the traditional African society, were made by men. The wealth, let's say the land, inheritance. And like if you look at the structure of society, women had very, very important roles, very, very important roles. But I don't know if it's the culture of the time or just the way society was structured. Those roles weren't given as big of a recognition as the male roles.
Okay.
So like I'd say it's just the way the society was structured. Not that the roles women were playing weren't important. They were very important, like as you said in the river and the source. But like people back then put like little weight to it. Although it's heavy. The tasks were heavy. But yeah, I'd say it's just the prospects, the perspective.
Perspective ya venye watu walikuwa wanazichukulia.
Yeah.
Do you think that we can preserve that one? Do you think that we are past that right now? Ama we are still there in those roles, the matriarchy, patriarchy, and we are still struggling around that?
Well, society these days, especially, okay, let me talk from my experience growing up and seeing like the African society. These days we are the society is very dynamic. Like, I mean, people are so different and people subscribe to so many different ways of living because the world has grown exponentially within the last maybe century and a half or so.
Yeah.
We were living just basically the same lives for the past maybe 700 years as humanity, just in our own small little villages, subscribe to our own small ideas. And like your importance was just your your vision was just as big as that area you lived in. Maybe if the biggest thing was to become chief,
ukikuwa chief wewe
ukikuwa chief,
sasa
like,
watu wanatii.
umetii, watu wamekutii, unachukua mabibi, mang'ombe, like that was the peak of society, you know. And like there were values shaped from that kind of living. But ever since, I'd say, communication, let me say the radio, ever since the radio was invented, the world opened up. And like that opening up became more and more exponential as we moved from like those simple forms of communication to now, literally you can talk to someone in the States through a screen and it's in real time, someone thousands and thousands of kilometers away. So that effect has brought like such an influence, such a heavy influence in our society. I hear people saying Kenya is westernized, like a lot of us are westernized, but like as someone living in Kenya, I'd say like it's a little mix of both. So I'd say like people are struggling to adjust. It's a change, but people are still struggling to adjust. We're in the midst of the change.
We are in the midst of the change. You've said about westernization. It may hit something in me because I have been having this conversation about westernization, decolonization. And for me, nimekuwa like, we cannot fight progress in the name of westernization because I feel like most of the time we talk about sijui ubadilishe jina, sijui urudi venye tulikuwa tunafanya. People are fighting white weddings. Amtaki white weddings, mnataka mfanye traditional because they make you more Africans. And so for me, I'm like, it is progress. It is not a bad thing, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Wewe unafikiri westernization ni progress, ama ni bad thing, ama ni white man ruling over us, ama what is it?
That's actually a very complex question. But I'd say we have the wrong idea sometimes. Being Western isn't equal to progress. You get like, we can progress and be innovative and have success in the tech industry, like so many industries, while still remaining African and sticking to our African values. Western isn't equal to success. The Westerns are like the Western countries are ahead of us, but like that's because of like of a variety of factors, colonization, like so many things. You see, like France is collapsing because they're not getting the resources from all the African countries that cut them off. So progress in the terms that progress is equal Western is something that I feel like we need to free our minds from, because you can see so many progressive countries, like we have, although like they lean towards the Western side, we have Japan, South Korea, they're very progressive, but they still have an essence of their culture and their traditions. We can have a really, really fancy Kenyan wedding between like a Kikuyu and a Kamba that has all the traditional aspects, but is still expensive, has so many like expensive things, expensive foods and everything. Yeah, so yeah, I'd say that as my opinion.
But Raja, I'm asking that basically because most of the time for us, tunakwanga, every time we see progress and we embrace progress, people are quickly to say that you are westernized.
Yeah.
For example, a lot of self-awareness yenye watu wana go through. Hata ukisikiza hizi conversation, the femininity na masculinity, they are all Western, zimetoka Western, but to some extent also they bring a lot of light in conversation because unaangalia unaona, na mamangu kuna venye, na babangu kuna venye, you see? So I don't know, where is the balance between progress and, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, I get you.
Conversation for another day. So, if the African family unit is the foundation of the society, this is just like a random question, just to poke your mind.
Okay.
What should be the balance between men and women look like so that we may be able to create the Africa we want? Unafikiria, what should be the role of a woman in this modern African society, and what is the role of a man? Ama to continue na his struggles that we are patriarchy, we are matriarchy, or I'm independent, I don't need you.
Well, I feel like, okay, going back to your point about being westernized, I feel like as much as Western people are progressed, there's still some negative things about the Western culture. Same way, there's still some negative things about the African culture. So I feel like as a smart individual, especially in the family unit, you need to like see what's hurting your family or like what's making your family. So in terms of the direction that you're going as like the African family unit, I'd say sometimes we try to take on Western values and also integrate our African values into them, which sometimes does not work. Because if you see like African families in the traditional society, they were very hierarchical, like kulikuwa na hierarchy. Like the man was on top, and king, then, president.
Yeye ndio kusema, yeye ndio kila kitu.
Unaona, president. Yeah. So the children are there, the wives, siata wives.
In Frulo.
So the man akuwa anaweza ambiwa anything ruled with an iron fist. It's like a
military camp of sorts.
It's like Akisema, a kingdom in a family, you see. But like, the Western family is like the nuclear father, mother, and the children. And like, we try to put that hierarchy in the Western families, but the Western families are based on a more open and loving kind of, like a more equal sort of structure. So sometimes you find that sometimes even that's why African families sometimes fail. People are raised into trauma, like they grow up with trauma from their families. So I'd say like the future of our African parenting and our familial unit is just we find a way to have integrity in the family, and we just find a way to work together. However that may look, we just find a way to work together and like to come together so that we are partners. You know, nobody has to be on top of the other. Nobody has to have like certain roles and the other. However, you guys will agree. And however you'll do it, as long as it's a partnership, because at the end of the day, you need that person to help you out with life. So yeah, I think that's the future.
The future is partnership.
Yeah.
Okay. I also want to ask, what is one painful reality that you feel mostly about the African society? It can be maybe the way venye tunaongelea sahi story ya family structure and the way we are talking about westernization, colonization, and everything. What is that one thing where you feel like this is something that is a painful reality that we have inherited and we need like to...
Painful realities ni mingi.
Sema mbili tu zinatutosha. Just tell us something.
Hata nikifikiria nasikia tu kulia.
Kwa nini? Too much pain?
It's too much pain. Like we could have a utopia. We could have...
You can create a utopia.
Like if we just came together as a society, we could have a world where it works for everyone. Everyone is comfortable. And we could have done that, but everything else just came in the way. But if I had to pick one, I'd say for our continent in specific, or let me not say, because as much as we are Africa, there's like differences in these countries. For Kenya specifically, I'd say it's tribalism. Yeah, tribalism has been the root of so many things. And the fact that we want to put like our tribes or our people ahead of other people, like in spaces where like maybe it's leadership, maybe progressive spaces, it won't work. Tribalism has been the root of corruption.
Is the root of everything.
Yeah,
the root of evil in Kenya.
Yeah, it's been the root of corruption. It's been the root of so many things, the violence, the politics. Even nepotism is kind of tribal.
I know.
So yeah.
Yeah, I also agree with you in that sense, because I feel also like I was having a conversation with my mom recently, and then we were talking about like naming of children. You know, this is something that is so like is a culture in your tribe. Sijui kwenu huwa mnafanyaje, but in our tribe is like when you get a child, you name them after your parents. So for me, I was like, Mimi start. I will not name my children like that because that is tribal. Because once I identify myself, for example, mi nikijintroduce niseme mi naitwa Wamboi, every other person that surrounds me wanakuwa like, you are a Kikuyu. Hiyo ndio judgment ya kwanza. So the moment wameshasema mi am a Kikuyu, they have already made judgment.
Kuna prejudice.
Yeah, wako na prejudice. Wameanza kusema unapenda pesa, sijui unafanyanga nini, you know? So I feel like in the generation to come, tunafaa kukua in a state where we don't name our children like that.
Yeah.
So when we were having that conversation with her, she was like, no, you people, you're becoming rebellious. I don't know what, you know? Yeah. But tunajua, even the way we have been raised, your story are tribal too. Like in my grandmother, ungeleta a man from any other tribe, she could have fainted. Like, why?
Yeah.
You know? Because I believe the other tribes are bad, our tribes are good. But those things, those conversations imetuweka.
Yeah. And actually, I feel like this is very controversial and maybe might ruffle some feathers, but I feel like if you were to just do away with the tribes, we would live like a very, very happy
even
life.
me, I agree with that.
Because like I get where we came from as a continent. The tribes were necessary because we were just a bunch of people to tumejipata in one land, and we just need to form like something to unite us so that we work together. Some other people from some other land wanakuja, wanawapata, so it's conflict, you see. But now in the modern world, as I said in the beginning, we're a global village. That tribal system does more harm than good, because every argument for like keeping the tribes around is, oh, our heritage, our culture. But like, what's that heritage exactly? What's that culture? Some culture is FGM. You get like some culture is so backwards. You even look at it and you're like, you see, and like,
what are you fighting for?
Yeah, what are you fighting for? So like, as much as we have our heritage and our identity in those tribes, I feel like in the modern times they do more harm than good. But that's just my opinion. Yeah.
It's a good opinion, actually. I think we agree on that sense, because pia mimi I'm like, let's just do away with tribes. I mean, it's so much hard work. Mbona tunachukiana tu bure tu because eti ulitoka Ukambani na mimi nilitoka sijui wapi. I know.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So, tell me one trend that is going around that is going around our generation right now, that is as a part of our own conditioning. Venye tumekuwa trained like in school maybe, or maybe with our culture, society, vitu wazazi wetu wamekuwa kituambia. What is that one negative thing that una feel like this is a bad conditioning? It's not the truth.
Sometimes I feel like as Africans, also it's just a result of like the westernization and the colonialism, but as Africans we are taught too heavily to depend on education. Like I know so many people who, like, when we were growing up, they were just telling me, all you need to do is study. And these were adults. These were grown people. They're like, you just study, finish, get your degree, and everything else will fall into place. It's like magic.
Your magic wand, education.
Yeah. So yeah, I also like take it's like from their time where like if you're educated even up to Form 4, you had like way like like way better chances than someone who wasn't educated, because the jobs were few, and like the education was also not that much.
So it was for the few people who could afford it, who could,
So like it was really, really instilled in us as kids, and people worked hard. People worked their butts off in school.
Mimi nimeamka saa 9 bana. Inaniumanga mpaka leo hiyo kuamka saa 9.
And then you wake up and you just find someone who maybe followed their talent.
I know.
Within 2 years is doing way better. They're living a much more comfortable life than you. They don't have some stress, some things that stress you out. And you're just like, we were sold a lie. So maybe that's one. I feel like we should have been taught that education is a good backbone, yes. But
it's not everything.
It's not everything. There's so many other skills you need to develop in order to like actually be okay in this world, and to make sure that you're gonna like have so many opportunities. And also like education doesn't work for everyone. We are made to believe like if education doesn't work for you, you're just a failure in society, or like yako imeisha hapo. But growing up, I learned that intelligence shows up in so many different ways, not just book smarts. So yeah.
That discussion also is very interesting, because I remember there was a time we were having a conversation with someone, and then tulikuwa tunaongea story ya watoto wa majuu, like those first world country. You find someone, for example, also I'm just going to use Charlie Kirk. For example, he was just 31 years old, but he has accomplished so much. Akona bibi, akona watoto. Yeah, he was 31 years old. Akona bibi, akona watoto, akona kampuni. He is able to do events, then ana hold thousands and thousands of people. Na hana college degree. But for us here, say we are almost 30 and we are not yet even realizing that we are adults. Bado tuna joke tu, tunasema, I'm just a baby. You're just a baby.
That's true.
That is also something I think like us as young people tunafaa kujiangalia kuhusu, because we don't take life that seriously the way it should. And we don't realize that hata kama me, I think our parents walikuwa like at that time walikuwa like that is the wisdom yao ilikuwa imefika hapo. But the more we get to grow, the more you get to realize that education, of course, it's not everything. Of course, it plays a role, but what plays a bigger role is you as an individual. Ujiamulie what kind of a life you want to be, and how much, what do we call it? How much are you going to invest in making your life different?
And it's sad because I've seen really talented people. There's some people we learned in school, back in school we were in school with, let's say high school. They were really talented, like songwriters. They were really talented footballers, rugby players. But you see, even the school system in Kenya prioritizes education, like the book smarts over everything. You can like, let's say for example, my high school, they used to say you can play rugby. And you can play rugby till maybe nationals, even football, basketball. But in order for you to play, you have to attain a certain grade.
Okay.
And that grade was attained by people who read. So like, even if you're playing, you have to read and you have to. So if like book smarts aren't for you, if you fail, they take you off the team.
What?
And maybe like you're doing great. All you needed was like some practice, you see. So like, it really takes away. And even the way society has prioritized education, like these other sectors hazijadevelopiwa vizuri, you see.
But that also, I think, poses an opportunity. I don't know how you think about it. It poses an opportunity for us as young people to start seeing things differently and start shaping the conversation in a different way.
Yeah, we are the adults now. We can shape the world we live in.
I know, we are the adults now. Tujuangi hivyo sometimes. I was joking with someone else another day that my parents, when they were my age, I was born. Mimi nilikuwa nimezaliwa. But right now, mimi, like the thought of marriage and children, oh my God, scares the hell out of me.
So
I'm like, I'm a baby.
Like, that's something for the adults.
I know.
Yeah. It's okay. We are growing. Yeah.
So I will also flip the question now, ask you, what is that one thing about Africa or about Kenya culture that we have inherited from our forefathers, the founding fathers or our parents or our grandparents that you think like is something to be admired and something that we should keep up? Because hata tukiongelea story ya westernization, you can see the Western is falling, like hata hawajijui, wanna discuss something like who is a woman, they don't even have an answer. So what do you think, like, what is that one thing about our African society that we should admire? And
okay, the African society, if I had to pick one, I would say it's our sense of community. Yeah, if I had to pick one single thing, I'd say it's our sense of community, because that really helps us. That, is it called ujamii?
Ujamaa,
yeah, something like that. It really helps us take care of each other. Like, you see, that's why even sometimes African women are not scared of having children. Because if you go to like some country in the West, just go to like Minneapolis or something, you have a kid there. Even if your family is there, you'll have to take care of that kid mostly on your own. Like, the community is so shrinked, it's almost non-existent. But in Africa, we have like, you can even leave your kids with your aunties, grandma, whatever. Like, you see, like the community will chip in to help you out. And some those are some of the negative effects of modernization. Because as I grow, even me, like as I grow from childhood to adulthood, I see that sense of community vanishing, especially within the city. And people don't even greet you on the road anymore. In the morning, people don't even...
For me, I thought that thing was very normal. Nilikuja to notice when Nigerians started telling us, you people are very rude. You are just passing people. You are not greeting people. I was like, huh?
So those are some results of modernization or westernization. Let me not call it modernization, because you can be modern without being Western.
I know.
So the results of westernization is you're becoming like them. You're becoming so isolated and
very individualized. Yeah.
So that sense of community is vanishing. Juzi, when I was at work, niliingia lift with someone from maybe 1st floor to 7th floor. didn't even say hi,
hata
didn't
muangaliani
even look at
kwanza.
each other. Mi nilimwangalia but yeye hakuniangalia, alikuwa
Like,
kwa simu.
I don't
nini.
care, who are you?
Nikasema even if I say hi, it'll look forced, so it just went like
hata
that in
ukaenda na the
silence.
flow.
So how will you expect to ask the same person for help when a situation arises? You see, so
Yeah.
that's one thing that I wish we could hold strong, like our sense of community as Africans. Yeah.
But I also think, I don't know what aspect of community, because zamani tena, this aspect of community was a little bit misused, because zamani, because you are a child of the community, any parent can punish you. Hawezi fanya dhambi mahali, ukipatwa, you're dead on arrival. But right now, I think people are like very, very less caring of one another. That, I don't know, sijui kama ni less caring of one another, ama tu ni hiyo kukua very individualized, I don't know.
Well, kuchapwa na watu wengine, was it really a good thing?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I guess...
Because that is also part of the community. Because imagine you are raising a young child, and then umemwachia auntie yako, ama tuseme umemwachia your neighbor, take care. If that child misbehave and the adult is there, it's the adult who is supposed to punish them. So unaona?
I guess if the community has your best interest at heart, it's okay. Wanaweza discipline. They can discipline my kid. If my kid was behaving poorly, then they have to know that even me, if I'm a soft parent, let's say me, I have like a very, sikwangi neoro ya kuchapana or like punishing people. So if I won't punish you, our neighbor, mama nani, akikupata, shauri yako. So you see, like, as much as there's negative and positive aspects to the community, I think generally that sense of community helps us a lot.
It helps us a lot. Actually, it does, because hata history ya depression na everything, most of the time, Camilo imbanga, I have been drinking alcohol in my house. Alone. It makes a lot of sense, because they have been in the house the whole day. Nobody checked up on them. So community helps, because mkiona uoni fulani utakuwa like, na fulani yako. But if you are individualized, you can even disappear for 3 days before people realize that you are not there.
And science has also proved that when you stay isolated for so long, without going out, without talking to people, your brain literally starts making up problems, bringing up situations.
Seriously?
So that you can have something to do.
Yeah.
I saw it like a couple of days back. There was a research thing done.
But ni ukweli,
so
that's
like,
why, maybe that's why wanasemanga an idle mind is a devil's workshop.
Devil's workshop, because your brain starts because we are created to, okay, we are not created to, but our DNA, like our instincts, are to always solve problems, because in the wild there's always something to solve, and that's how you survive. So if there's no there's no interaction, there's nothing you're doing.
You are just there.
You're just there. You're not even arguing with your friends outside of a football.
I know.
Your brain starts creating situations where it makes it such a big thing, and you won't know unless you go to consult maybe a psychologist, a therapist or something. So that's why you find so many people depressed, so many people have anxiety problems. Just the tiniest thing, like maybe even a hangout with your friends sends you over the rails. You can't do it. You can't do it, you see. So
that's why, by the way, that's why if you think about it, at the Western culture, when you see them wanasemanga sometimes that at me I have a phobia of being outside, I have a phobia of being with people. I mean, ulizaliwa kwa family, kuna watu, ulitoa wapi phobia ya watu? But I think it's those aspects are isolating yourself, keeping to yourself, being very individualistic. Uko like, mimi, I don't want anyone, I can do it by myself.
True.
Yeah. Okay. So, another question. When you close your eyes, okay, this is just an imaginative question. Just you imagine, what Africa do you want your children to grow up in? Is it the Africa where, venye tunasemanga politically, it is our time to eat, it is our tribe? Or is it the Africa where we are holding people accountable, we have integrity, responsibility? And actually, before that question, let me ask you, because nashinda tu nikiongea Africa, do you think Africa can become first world?
Yeah.
How do you think like our languages na venye tumejisegregate actually hata nationalism pekee? Because even when we are speaking with other people, like mtu anasema, me I'm Nigerian, me I'm Kenyan, and then we start debating. Do you think we can go past that and become?
We can. Actually, we can. Because as much as we are separated, it also doesn't take a lot to unite us. As much as it takes a lot, it doesn't take a lot in like the sense of it's impossible, you get. It just takes one generation to be influenced the right way in order to change the continent for the better.
conversation. Oh,
You get so
but
like
okay,
yeah.
interrupt.
So we are separated.
Uh-huh.
So that's one issue. We are separated along these borders that the white man drew. These borders weren't even there. To even find like maybe Kenya was supposed to extend up to mid Uganda. That's where our people end.
You are threatening Ugandans.
Maybe that's where our people end. But like this white man just came and drew
And
according to their needs and their whatever they were petitioning for. So I feel like we need to be more pan-Africanist. We'll need to like do a lot of mental deconditioning to like stop people from being so tribal and so separated. But it only takes like influencing one generation from the point they are kids and tell them, we are one Africa, we are one people. Kenya, Uganda, we are one people. It's just names, just like provinces. And like those kids will grow up and believe we are one Africa.
That way, yeah.
Like the Gen Z, like you saw the Gen Z. The Gen
Mandamano
in like 2024, 2025. These are people from very many different backgrounds. And you can see like they came from 47 different tribes, maybe even more.
Know. Yeah.
And like we were divided. It's not like we were always like this as Gen Z. We were also divided as Gen Z, and sometimes you can even see it online. But like just one single idea brought us together, all of us, and we were able to like fight as one. And that's why you get things like tribeless, leaderless, partyless. Like in that point when we're in the streets fighting, we're one. And like that idea of separation has already gone out the window. So it only takes like people to influence one generation. Maybe that's why they killed Gaddafi, because he was bringing about that influence. But they.
That's also the thing that I wanted to ask, because most of the time when tunasema about first world, most of the time kuna hiyo aspect ya tribe and everything na our nationalism and everything, but tena kuna hiyo aspect ya white man, because when you listen to a lot of podcasts or a lot of people wakiongelea conversation wanasemanga the white man cannot allow, the white man cannot. So I'm always like, who is the white man that he should allow to begin with? Because ikiwa tulimfukuza akatoka, what is it that we were able to take back our land, but we are not able to take back our economic power. We are not able to take back, unaona vitu kaa hizo.
Yeah, as Africans pia tunakuanga na uye sana. Like
tunapenda kurumiwa.
We like playing victims sometimes so much. And like it's okay, we've been victims a lot. But at the same time, these people who are victimizing us have never had and still don't have our best interest at heart. So if we sit here and continue crying victim, they'll just continue to exploit us, and they'll continue to use us for their benefit.
Yeah.
Those first world countries are just that developed because they steal from third world countries. You get like there's no way a country can have like maybe more than 100 people who have over $1 billion. For you to collect $1 billion in your lifetime, you have to have taken it off the backs of other people. Mostly people working in third world countries. That's usually how it is. You see, those people are so far ahead because they keep us behind. You see, so like seeing that is the first step. At least we've seen it. Now saying we can't do anything, the white man won't allow. The white man isn't a god. They're just people like us. They have brains like us. Even some of like we're just people. All of us are just people.
We are just human beings.
So like it's the structure, the systems that have been put up that make you think that these people are so far ahead. But at the end of the day, you guys are just people, and we can make radical changes that will make us like beat that system. And it's already started. As you can see in West Africa, they cut off France. Now France is collapsing. So yeah.
The conversation has already started.
Yeah, it's already started. The thing is, you can't oppress people ever. At one point, they have to rise up and rise out of, even if it takes 100 years, 150 years.
There's a point in time, itafika tu watu waseme enough is enough.
Yeah.
This one cannot go on.
Yeah.
I also feel this is the time for us as African that sahi ni wakati decolonization is a story like we put them back, now we start grabbing other things like economic empowerment, living a good life, because I feel like our biggest problem right now, to speak our mother tongue, is to have access to maybe electricity, water, vitu kaa hizo.
Yeah.
So, what is one greatest untapped strength of Africa? Most of the time, watu wanasemanga strength the African young people. Do you believe that our strength is young people?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, actually, that's actually a very good answer. Our youth is probably one of the biggest weapons we have, because if the youth do what needs to be done accordingly.
Do you think you'd have that courage? That is because at our Western president, the West African president, when wanasema, most of them they are very young.
Yeah.
For example, here in Kenya, let me just give a scenario. Kuna Boniface Mwangi, you know Boniface Mwangi? Yeah. Niliwatch a documentary yake alikuwa ametengenezanga kitambo when he was vying for Starehe. And then right now he wants to become the president. And I remember there was a guy who asked me, could you vote for somebody like Boniface Mwangi? And then for me, nikamwambia, no, I wouldn't vote for Boniface Mwangi. I'd go to after money. And then after that, I was like, why would I think like that? So I've been asking myself, do you think as young people, tuko na hiyo capacity ya kuvotia mtu kama Boniface Mwangi? Because ako na ideals. Because after I watched the documentaries of T, I saw ideals zenye anaportray hapo is the very same things that I hold dear, the very same things that I'm trying to advocate right now. So I'm like, and why was I thinking like that? You wewe unafikiriaje? Young people wako na hiyo opportunity? Ama hata kama wewe, you, because you're a voter. Can you vote for someone like Boniface Mwangi?
I mean, yeah, I haven't listened to the what's it called? To his manifestos.
To his manifestos or anything. Unamjua tu like an activist hivyo.
Yeah,
but as a young person, voting for another young person, do you think Africa is, ama Kenya tuko ready for something like that? Yeah. A young person becoming? Yeah, we can. And like, the thing is, people say age breeds experience and whatever leadership skills, but we've been having older leaders, and all they've done is take us downhill. So I would be, even if it's just for risking it, to give it a chance to see if it works. To see if it can.
Yeah, because the other systems we've tried and they have failed over and over and over and over again. And this is what makes me believe that sometimes, like I said, people are just people. A young person can be 20 times more intelligent than someone 20 years older than him, or even 40 years older than him. Yeah. Sometimes living long just makes you old. Like, sometimes people don't learn from the things. Gray hair is not wisdom. It's just gray hair. Yeah, sometimes people don't learn from life, or like they're so like close-minded. They just keep their ideas even when like the world is changing around them. You see, so like I wouldn't, as long as what you're saying makes sense, and your manifestos at least is something that I can resonate with, I can elect you as a young person. Doesn't matter like the age. The age is not the factor here. I think young people can make a difference because we are the majority at the end of the day. The world is in our hands now. The continent is in our hands now. The old people are just there to lead, but as you can see, people are fighting them daily. You cannot be having an ICT person when you're 60 years. Na tuko kwa AI na whatever. They don't even know. So like, we'll fight them, we'll fight the leadership. Maybe like Uganda can get some of our courage from Kenya and like fight that old man. Unataka tu vita. But the young people we can. It just takes like some strategy, but we can. We can. Yeah. Sasa mimi najua ndo nilikujibia hiyo swali, we jibu sasa in your own perspective. What is the one strength of Africa that you see? I would say, first I would say young people. The second, I would say it's our potential. We have so much potential in terms of resources, in terms of manpower, in terms of even the way we are placed in the world, even like our geographic location, just placed us to be able to be a first world continent. So I'd say if we find a way to like work together, even if we keep our independence as different nations, we don't have to unite as one. If we find a way to work together so that our resources can work for us, that's the only way we can develop throughout the continent and become actually first world. Because if you see someone like US, those states depend on each other. Texas depends on maybe, where do they grow things? Maybe Wisconsin for food. Wisconsin depends on Texas for oil. There's no tariffs. There's nothing between them. They can just trade freely. They can just exchange freely. People can move between these places freely. And like, they make those resources work for them. Whatever they have in excess, they export. They use them in their local industries. So if we find a way to tap into like our potential as a continent, we'll go far. But first we have to sort out like the things like tribalism. Yeah. Just
Tribalism is the killer.
Small things we need to figure out. Need to figure out fast. Yeah.
Okay. What do you think is your role wewe kama young person?
Hey, mimi venye niko hapa
wewe tu venye uko, wewe mmoja si mwingine. Ama do you think that young people, we are all young people, yeah? Do you think most of us feel your responsibility that there's something we can do? Ama all of us, we are like, anyway, it is what it is.
I think many people haven't really thought about it. Even me, I hadn't thought about it before you asked me right now. So that's why I'm like, one me, Chrispal, one.
You, Chrispal.
I'd say in any situation, it starts with you. Like, it just starts small. So whatever you can do at your level as a young person, be it speaking out, be it influencing others, giving others your ideas, or like whatever you can do at your level.
Just do it.
Just
make sure there is something that you're doing.
Even if it's posting on Twitter daily, umeenda huko umetusi whoever people are abusing these days for misusing our funds. Or go and abuse them. Whatever you can do it at your level, because it's not every day we can go out and protest. And like there's little frameworks that have been put in place for young people to voice their opinions and actually get something done. It's so hard, but whatever you can do, just do it. Even the slightest change will push us forward.
Miles. Okay. We are wrapping up now.
Okay.
So acha nikuulize, this is a question that I like asking very much. If you had superpowers, ukaambiwa now, I've given you superpower, all powers, no limitation. What is the one thing that you'll say, this one, it will end today, not any other day?
In terms of like
anything you can think, family structure, education, corruption, politics, whatever it is. Nigeni you umesema, if I'm given the superpower now, I'm the god of this, I will change it.
If I'm given the superpower, maybe. Okay, like if I was selfish, maybe I'd just like fly around the world. Visit a couple of resorts, just see everything that I wanted to see.
Okay.
But in terms of community, I would just make everyone forget.
Forget what?
I would just make everyone forget all the things that are dividing us, all the differences between men and women, Black people, white people, Asian people, and Japan and American people. Tribal things, everything that separates us. And I'll just like, in place of those memories, insert like the idea that we're just people. We're just one. I can look at you like this and see like a different skin color, blue eyes, blue like the sky, but I just see like a human being like me. There's no aspect of white, black, or like I'd remove those things.
Hizo aspect zenye to divide, like you're white, you're sijui ni rangi ya dhao. Zamani tulikuwa tunasema, I'm very old by the way.
Yeah, and then I'll just teach people that we're all one people. And there's no difference actually. Even the differences that we see as differences are not really differences. They're just a results of maybe like our environment where we grew up, like maybe the weather. So that's something I'd do for the community. Yeah. For myself, I'd just like fly around the world.
You just want to see the world.
Yeah. After I see it, maybe I'll go see space. See, the power is limitless. Yeah. There's so many things to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, one final question. Which song are you listening to right now that is very interesting for us, or that gives you to the inakuweka kwa vibes tu yani?
I've been really getting into unts. For those who don't know unts is like a version of amapiano. It's called 3-step. So it's very chill, I can say. My favorite song is Isaka, especially right now.
Okay.
Isaka, the remix with Thames, Omale, those Nigerian artists. So yeah, I really like those Nigerian, not Nigerian, the South African, that version of amapiano, because it's spiritual. most of them are gospel songs. So it's just that you can't understand. So yeah. Yeah. Even if they're not gospel, they speak about, they're not dirty songs or whatever. They're just clean for your spirit, in short.
They're clean for your spirit.
Yeah, they make you feel good.
That's nice. That's nice. Okay. This brings us to the end of the episode. I am so happy for every one of you who has been watching, following, commenting, and reaching out to me. We are going places, I believe that. And so thank you, all of you. Thank you, Chrispal, for showing up today.
You're welcome.
I'm very happy that you have come, and I'm very happy for the conversation. It has been insightful and entertaining also.
Thank you for inviting me. Yeah, it's been very fun to talk about these things and to see how you think, and even to see how I think about some of these issues. So yeah, I've had fun, and maybe I can come again.
Yeah. You're welcome again and again and again. There are so many things we can talk about as young people. But a step at a time.
Yeah, if I can have a closing statement, I'd say maybe the Africa we want is like in our hands, and we should remove all that mental programming of it's impossible or the white man won't allow us. We can't do it. We can't do it. Because if we are defeated mentally, we're defeated all through. We can't even do anything. So if there's any young people listening to me, the change starts with you, and you can do it.
You can do it. Sawa, everyone. Bye-bye. See you next time.